Hello, darlings. It's me, Nova, at gypsyohm.com, and this is the second video of the basics week. And I'm going to be talking about where we sleep, and that includes safety. So, once you get into this lifestyle, you'll find that there is a big, gigantic world of places to park to sleep. I know it might be a little bit you don't see it right now because you're not in the lifestyle yet, but once you get into the lifestyle, you'll see it. Once you get in your van and you're driving, you'll find the places. Some areas are physically safer than others, and some places you're less at risk of someone knocking on your window to say that you can't park there. So let me just stop there for a moment and say that we have only had, in 3 years on the road, we have only had police knock on our window maybe twice to tell us that we, couldn't park there and want to talk to us about what's going on. We've had, security guards a couple times, maybe 3 or 4 times, knock on the window and say that we couldn't park where we were at. But they just, knock and say, hey, you can't park here, and then you just move on. So it hasn't been that big of a deal, and I'll talk more about what to do or how to handle yourself when the police knock on your window or something or anything like that. I'll talk more about that in a later video, but I did want to share that. The biggest rule to overnight parking is if you even think that you get a bad feeling about a spot, then you don't park there. Don't even ask yourself or question it or try to reason it or anything like that. If you feel like you need to go for any reason, you just go. You just find a new spot. Like I said, there's a big, gigantic world full of spots. You don't need that one. I just listen to my intuition. That's the biggest thing that I do to stay safe. I just listen to my intuition. Does this feel like a place I want to stay? How does the energy feel? What is my gut telling me? And then I park there or not, and then sometimes, I've had times where I've woken up in the middle of the night and just had just woken up out of nowhere and just went, okay, I'm just going to move now because I just feel like I should. And we just do. We've never had any safety issues. The whole time we've been on the road, we've never had somebody come up to our vehicle or in any kind of situation that felt unsafe. So, but we've been very selective about where we park. We just listen to our gut. We stay in good communities, things like that. I like to park in places where I'm going to enjoy the view when I wake up because I like to take some me time when I first wake up. So I prefer to park in places where I have overlooking a green field or some kind of gorgeous view, or at least facing green bushes or something like that, because I just really love nature and it really connects me and grounds me. So that's where I like to park. Before parking, I make sure that I'm in a safe neighborhood. I make sure that we all went to the bathroom. I make sure that my van is on level ground. That's an important thing that we learned. We make sure the doors are locked and the curtains are up. We might pay particular interest or, consideration to window condensation, if we need to crack windows or anything like that, to make sure the window condensation isn't too bad. We make sure that the porta potty and the baby wipes are easily accessible, and we make sure that where we're parked is either in the sun or the shade when the sun comes up. Right now, because it's not very hot in the mornings where we're at, we like to park in the full sun with the front windows facing the sun when it rises, so that it can burn off all the condensation on the window, so that when I'm ready to drive, it's ready to go. But sometimes we'll be in warmer areas, like when we were in California, we preferred to park somewhere where we would be in the shade when the sun came up, to keep us cool. Those are things to consider. Some places where we can park to sleep. Campgrounds, of course, are the easiest because you can park there without any worries at all. You have somewhere to shower, you have everything. Campgrounds are wonderful if you have the money for it. You can check for weekly rates or monthly rates. Sometimes they'll have discounted prices. National forests are another place that are free to park for up to a certain amount of time. They don't usually have showers, and they're not available in all states, so you'd have to look that up, but that's another option, is national forests or BLM land. You can Google free camping or free campsites in the areas that you're going to be going to, so you can find free camping. Never underestimate the awesomeness of locals. They will know all the best stuff. So definitely check with locals when you get places, and they may be able to find places that you get your best bang for your buck, or maybe it's just some place that's just so gorgeous it's worth camping there, even if it's just for, you know, you can only afford a few nights or whatever, but locals are definitely the place to go. Especially when you're driving, but sometimes you can do this even if you're not passing through. But when you're passing through, there's places like truck stops or casinos, rest areas or viewpoints, grocery stores, on freeway exits we've parked there very often without any problems. Gas stations. You can Google businesses that allow overnight parking, and you'll find places like Costco and Walmart. Walmart usually has security that drives through, so that makes it extra safe for us. We always feel extra safe there. Anywhere that's open 24 hours, you can usually park there because there'll be other cars in the parking lot. And then for more stealthy kind of camping, we've parked in hotel parking lots, especially like fancier hotels. We've parked in church parking lots, and on a street in a safe neighborhood is my very last resort, but that's an option. So what we do when we're going to be parking in these places is, like, some places like Walmart and Costco, big businesses like that, they don't really require you to come in and ask permission, but some places like gas stations will, or like if you're, you know, parked in a viewpoint, which isn't really for overnight parking, but if you're just like really tired, or that's really the only place you have an option to park and you feel like you want to park there, especially if you have out-of-state tags, it's really easy. But if you just explain to them that you're passing through and you're really tired and it's not, you know, you feel like it's not safe to drive right now with your family in the vehicle, those places are really cool and will let you park there. We're just very heartfelt when we speak to them and just let them know that, you know, that we're you know, passing through and things like that. And then if we have money to do something, we might, like if we were going to get gas, we might get gas at that gas station. Even if it's a little bit more than a place that I would have gotten gas down the road or something, it's worth it to save that money for, you know, so you don't have to camp or something like that. Just put a little bit extra money in just to support the businesses that support us. So the other thing I want to talk about when it comes to sleep real fast is romance. I haven't had too much of this being a solo mama, but I did have some questions about that. And so there was a month when I was dating somebody. We had an RV and a van, so we were able to find privacy when we needed it. But what I would suggest is, you know, you have to get creative. It's just like, you know, if you have a family bed or any other kind of situation like that where you just want to be really creative. So one of the things that you can do is, you know, plan date nights, you know, plan to stay in campgrounds at certain times, get a tent where, you know, the kids can camp in the tent, sleep in the tent, or the kids can sleep in the van and you sleep in the tent or whatever. And, you know, or you at least have access to the tent. You can, you know, once the kids are asleep, you can go, you know, have fun for a while, spend some time, doing parental adult things, whatever floats your boat, you know. Light some candles, read each other poetry, I don't know, whatever you need to do. But just be able to create special space for that. Romance, you know, can be stolen moments. It can be, you know, you guys are sitting on a quilt together at the park while the kids are playing. And yes, I'm sitting at a park right now, so it made me think of that. But, you know, you just steal some moments to spend time together and connect. And then, you know, for intimacy, you just have to get really creative. And I found that it's easiest when we have separate spaces. We can't always do that. Maybe if you're in a community that has like older homeschooled kids that can help, we're homeschoolers and unschoolers, so I always refer back to that kind of a community. But if you're in a new community that has people that are your people and you've spent time with these families and you trust them with your kids to maybe, you know, take them to a park, or maybe they can stay at your friend's house, or you can pay somebody to babysit, or whatever it is that you feel safest doing so you can have some privacy or whatever. So those are my ideas for romance. I haven't come across that bridge yet, but you know, when I do, maybe I'll have more ideas for you. Mwah. Bye.